The Dallas Cowboys took a whooping by the Denver Broncos. Matt Eberflus under fire. Is there any hope for this defense, and what can they possibly do to get it on track? Let's get this thing going. Meow. What's up, everybody? Welcome into the DLLS Cowboys podcast on the day after getting whooped by the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos gave it to you. We got to talk about this Cowboys defense. We got to talk about Matt Eberflus and his group. We got to talk about everything going wrong with this football team. Everything. It's a roller coaster. You know, a week ago, it was like, yeah, maybe. And then this week happens, and you go, no, I forgot. This is who they are. So let's talk about all the things, all right? Hit the like button on your way in, please. Don't punish us for their incompetence. Look at that. Look at that. My name is Jeff. Next to former Cowboy wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
He is next to the zombie version, although still on Twitter, of the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, rocking his Shady Rays, Mr. Clarence Hill.
Mugaletta.
Are you dogging under that hoodie?
I am dogging.
That's crazy.
I don't
Makes
care
two of
what
us.
that is.
It was funny. I was talking to someone the other
Better
night.
be
They
funny.
said you do weird things like when you scream real loud, your high pitched voice. I said, "What are you talking about?"
Yep.
And that's it right there.
That's it.
Next to Clarence is the second
Plenty of
greatest
that.
beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Mr. Ali Jawad. You guys like that? You guys have a good time with that game? You enjoy it? Was it fun for you?
I enjoy spending time with you,
Yeah.
Ali,
Yeah.
with Vach.
Yeah.
We had a packed house here last night.
pizza,
a lot of
too.
people here last night.
I enjoyed watching Joe Milton throw a touchdown. That was fun.
Don't do that.
Yeah, Ali.
Why are you doing that?
Ali, after the Joe Milton touchdown, Ali said that should spark the quarterback controversy.
That is not what I said. Get out of here.
What do you
Get out of
guys
here.
think? You think it's Joe Milton's turn or what? Okay, so the defense is
God awful.
the worst
bad.
in the history of the planet, except the Bengals are equally as bad. But yeah, it's about as bad as you could possibly play defense. Even when the run defense, atrocious. The pass defense, atrocious. There's nothing good about the Cowboys defense whatsoever. I guess I start with, what can you do? Is there anything that you can do? Because it's a conversation about Matt Eberflus at some point where it's like, how can the guy in charge of it not be held accountable for it? But then you go down the chain and you're like, well, let's work through this.
Right.
Who's going to do that job instead? And are they going to get more out of this group of players? And I don't know that there is an answer to this other than trade for 6 guys, which that's dumb.
And what I also worry about is, I thought about this in the shower this
Attaboy. You got good water pressure in there?
Is it hot?
Important.
morning. I got a tankless water. I got tankless.
That's nice.
I don't have a water.
Got a bench in there, too?
Huh?
Got a bench, you said, in your shower,
I
too?
do.
Yeah, but it's not built in.
I'm not. Well, I mean,
Just an
don't,
okay bench.
don't knock my bench in my shower because I don't have it because it's not built in. Now I'm gonna go get
I'm
one
just
built
saying,
in. Now-
you have a real nice shower if it was built that way with the bench in it.
Yeah.
If you just put a bench in there, that's fine.
Okay.
That's what I did with my dad. You know, when he was
No, but I don't have that bench though. Like,
You
you,
sure- you
I'm-
sure
I'm-
got it?
you have a
You know that old
no.
man bench, you know, where you got to sit down?
Yeah. I'll take a picture of it when I get home. I'll take
that
a picture of
laugh.
it when I get home.
That laugh is something.
But because the conversation has been right. All right, you have the assets, you have the picks. Let's make trades. Let's do something to make this defense better. If ultimately, so let's say you make the trade, right? You make a trade or some trades, and it doesn't get any better,
Yeah.
and you still fire Matt Eberflus. Now I have players on this roster that the next coach might not want, right? I have players on this roster that will be under contract that a coach may come in and go, well, my style is, my scheme is, this doesn't work here, right? And so at this point in time, this is just Jesse Holley talking. I think you just roll with it. Yeah. You just roll with this thing, and then if you fire him, you fire him. But adding assets to an already sinking ship, I think will hurt you even more in the future. This thing is done, bro. There is no Max Crosby ain't helping this. Trey Hendrickson ain't helping this. This is cooked. This is absolutely cooked. And going into that, a lot of these guys aren't going to be here next year. So I personally say, just if you're going to fire him, but just ride this thing out. Your team, and even if you get Max Crosby, that doesn't make you a playoff team. It doesn't make you a playoff team. It doesn't make you a Super Bowl contending team. And I know what you're going to say, Clarence. You're thinking about the future. Cool. We'll deal with the future after this season is over. If Max Crosby, if you can't, they've already told you no. They already told you no, right? So if Max Crosby was on the conversation table in November and the Raiders told all y'all no, revisit it in February, March. And maybe they have changed their mind. Maybe their outlook on how they're going to do things changes. Maybe they change defensive coordinator. Maybe they acquire something. I don't know. But I just think that this thing, you're going to add more players to a situation that is already screwed. It's screwed. This thing is cooked. I just say ride this thing out, man. Do the best that you possibly can offensively. Hope to pray to God that you find some wins along the way. But this is not a playoff team. It's not a playoff team. It's not a Super Bowl contending team. Keep the picks, go in the offseason and regroup.
I just think that we're at paralysis by analysis mode. Okay. And you're damned if you do or damned if you don't. Okay. Because you're right. This is not a Super Bowl team on paper. And theoretically, it's not a playoff team on paper. But damn, I'm tired of hoarding cap money. I'm tired of hoarding cap room. I'm tired of hoarding picks. For what? You don't get a title for having picks. You don't get a title for having cap money. Okay? Do something. Why throw up the white flag now? Why do that? And I know Jerry's not in the business of, again, tanking or in the business of not being a competitive or trying to be competitive because he's still trying to sell seats. He's still trying to sell tickets.
Seats are already sold.
I hear you.
Everybody's going to show up for Thanksgiving. Everybody's showing up for Thanksgiving.
He wants his team to be competitive.
We got primetime games.
He's not throwing up the white flag in November.
We got primetime games just hit the rest of the way out. We Thursday night, Monday night for the rest of the – so the seats are already sold.
Okay. He wants his team to be competitive. He's not going to throw up the white flag and say the season's over in November.
But he's not doing anything about it, though.
That's why – not yet. And I'm saying if he does something, it's because I need to let fans know I'm still trying. Again – you beat, in the schedule, it still favors the Cowboys at least the next 2 weeks. You beat Arizona. You beat
the Raiders.
They finally have a winning record. They finally won 2 in a row. Going into Philly, and again.
Falling apart.
And again.
Section 2.
They're falling apart. Be patient.
Injury here, injury there. You could fall.
Now.
I'm not
now you hoping for a lot.
I'm not hoping.
You hope. Yes, an injury here, an injury there. If they do this, if they do that,
that's where we are because you're not changing the coordinator. Okay, you're not changing the coordinator at this point. You know, Sorensen's not going to fail up again. Okay. You're not changing the coordinator. You have to do something. You just can't throw the white flag up and say, this is what we got. You believe that you got guys on the come in Overshawn and Revel.
You keep selling that.
I'm not selling anything. I'm just saying
I'm
what
not
they
you.
believe.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying Jerry.
Yeah,
that's the part you keep selling.
Yeah, he's going to keep selling that. And again, keeping picks for what? And right now, that Green Bay pick going to be 31 or 32.
Yeah, 31 right now.
It's 31
right now, I believe.
That Green Bay pick going to be 31 or 32. Okay? You know, get rid of the pick. Or a second round pick. Just do something. You can get appreciably, but you can say that they can't help. No, they're not going to. Whatever you do is not going to make this team into a playoff team. It's not going to make this team into go from 32nd defense to the top 10 defense team, top 15 defense.
So are we saying this?
But get some players to help this team. And I disagree to say that the next coordinator can't use Max Crosby. I disagree that the next coordinator can't use a Trey Henderson. Whoever you get can use great players or difference-making players. That's one thing this team does not have.
They're not getting Max. They're not getting Max.
Like you said, I'm just saying, whoever you get, you're hopefully going to get somebody good. The next coordinator can use a good player because right now you don't have good players. Any good player is going to improve this defense and be better than what they are at this moment. Right now, this defense in and up is historically bad.
Not any good player. You need to help this defense. You need a plus player. To use your words.
Yeah, you need
a plus player. You need a plus player.
Right now, I would settle for competent players.
I would
settle
plus
for guys
players
that know what they're doing. I would settle for guys that can play coverage and not be lost. And that's what you don't have right now. You got guys that are lost on every play.
Yeah, you just need guys from top to bottom. This is not a one-player thing. Like you tweeted yesterday, they need DNs and linebackers and corners. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be, and I get you want Max Crosby, and yeah, Max Crosby would be great. Obviously, the asking price would be a first. I mean, does it have to be a premium asset to get a player? Can't you still come away with somebody trading like a day 2 pick for a guy that could make an impact, maybe not as good as that guy, but still a guy that could be in your future plans as well?
I think that's the key part. If it's not part of your future plans, then I'm totally with Jesse that there's no point. Like nobody is going to resurrect this defense this year. Like they're in trouble in so many ways because if you're in the camp of fire the defensive coordinator, which believe me, totally get it. They also don't have a person on the staff who's
ready
prepared
to
take that job. Like you're unprepared to even not have a defensive coordinator. So like. I guess the only thing I can think of is to just keep trying different people. And like it's something that's easy to say, but coaches watch all these guys practice. And so like the names that you're going to throw out, like put this guy in, put that guy in. There's a reason they're not, but it's almost like, look, how many times do I have to see certain people before I know that result's not going to change? And so let's see. They're in a weird spot, like a linebacker. They don't want Kenneth Murray playing middle linebacker. It's not why they brought him here. He's supposed to be the weak side linebacker who deals with less blockers, that just runs and tackles people. That's what he's supposed to be. Shamar James might be better than him at that, but he's not a good NFL player at this point either. He's a 5th-round rookie. I'm not killing the kid. I think he's your best linebacker, which is the tallest, tiny person.
Yep.
But, like, I'm not sure what is unique about, for instance, Kenneth Murray, that he's the only one at linebacker, that they won't be like, let's try something else. Let's put somebody else out there. And maybe you're terrified of somebody else calling the defense, but like he has been exempt from the, let's try someone else. Let's try someone else. And I think when you watch him play, you would come away with the why. Why is this person exempt?
Why we keep picking on the line? Let's talk about the defensive end. Let's talk about Sam Williams. I mean, we keep picking on Kenneth Murray.
I think honestly, I think
Clowney should start in front of Williams. I mean,
probably, yeah.
You know, put Clowney out there, let him start in front of Williams. You make all these changes, but you keep running the same defensive ends out there.
I think the reason that I focus on one particular player is because he plays every snap. Like when it comes to Clowney or Sam Williams, yeah, I'm with you. Clowney should play 8 more snaps a game, and Williams should play 8 less. But when it comes to somebody who's playing 70 and never comes off, and it's like, for what?
Yeah.
It's like there's not a spot on the field outside of Deron Bland and your starting D tackles that I'm not open to. Who else is here? You want to try? Like, Tre'Quez Bridges cannot be an NFL. He cannot be playing the whole game for you. He can't. Can Kalen Carson not play a lick? Is he healthy yet? Like,
wait, how's your roster so bad that you have no safeties on the practice squad? That you got to hoard all these corners, these below average corners.
I don't think
you have
move
less
them over.
safeties.
They have 4 safeties. They're fit safety on the field.
They have safeties,
but they got like 100 corners, and the 100 corners, and so they got all these corners. So now we got to play all these corners. We have to elevate corners to play safety because we have no safety on the practice. I'm talking about even on the practice squad because we're hoarding all these corners. That
But I think 5 is normal.
I'm about
right?
to say, yeah, that's a lot of safety.
Hooker and Wilson. Bell and
Monye,
Thomas
yeah.
and Elijah Clark.
Yeah,
Like
that's
you came in
5.
here with 5, and now you're down
That's more
to
than enough.
6 in a position that 2 people play. And so part of it is injuries, but I do think the how did we get to this point is relevant. And so I want to talk about it next. How did we get to this point on the DLLS Cowboys podcast?
It is 5K season in the DFW, and there's no better way to join the fun than the official Texas Rangers 5K presented by the Medical City Healthcare, set for November 9th at Globe Life Field. This race you won't find anywhere else. So with the course of offers scenic views, Arlington's entertainment district, and ends with an unforgettable finish directly on the field at the home of the Texas Rangers. The fun doesn't stop there. All participants are invited to the Texas-sized post-race party out in the outfield, featuring yard games, a live DJ, appearances by Rangers captains, and much more. Whether you're a veteran marathoner, a regular at your local run club, or a newbie, the Texas Rangers 5K is a perfect event for runners of all levels. The traditional 5K and the fun run options are available. Registration closes on November 2nd, so run fast over to globelife.com/Rangers with an S 5K to secure your spot today. That's globelifefield.com/Rangers 5K.
I want to shout out our new friends at Arena Club, especially if you are a card collector out there. You think about the traditional trading card cycle, like you open a pack of cards, right? And then if you think you got you a good one, what do? You're like, all right, I got this card. Now I got to send it off and have it graded, pay a bunch of money for that. And then eventually I'll have that card back. And then maybe I'll either love it and display it or I'll sell it. No. Arena Club flips the whole cycle on its head. What used to take you weeks to open, figure out what you got, send it in for trade. Whoops, maybe you jammed that card up a little bit before you send it in for trade, and now it's a 6.5.
Yeah.
You know, Arena Club, what they do, it's all in minutes on their digital platform. They've taken the long grind of physical card trading and turned it into instant digital gratification. You get the authentic graded cards instantly, and you decide hold, sell, or you have it shipped to you. And then that bad boy's already graded. You're all hooked up. Right now, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/DLLS. It is the DLLS Cowboys podcast. Cowboys defense is absolutely atrocious. And now the question for us is, how did we get here? Hit the like button while you're here. We sure would appreciate it. How did we end up here? And I don't want to start it because y'all know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'll
You
say
know
it
what
for
I'm
you.
gonna say.
I'll say it for you. Your front office. This is how you got here. You allowed feelings to get in the.
Don't sing that song. How did you?
Oh, how did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here.
Sing it, there, baby.
Know that one?
He don't know. He don't know this song.
Is that a Casey and JoJo?
That's not Casey and JoJo. It's a female.
Don't even look
artist.
at me.
No, my life.
I'm waiting for someone
I
like
pray
you.
for someone like.
Not the same song.
But yeah, your front office screwed this up. Your front office screwed this up by hiring Matt Eberflus, who was a friend of the program.
He just
He was a friend of the program. It was somebody who the Joneses were knowledgeable with and had been around here. He was a linebackers coach here back when I was playing for the Cowboys. And then once you did that, you then went on to not bringing necessary pieces in. You brought in Kenneth Murray. You brought in Jack Sanborn. You brought in another flyer on Kyer Elam, another one of the guys that you saw traits. And you thought that those traits would come alive again when the Buffalo Bills told you all that you needed to know. When the Buffalo Bills go, first round pick we spent on him. Not a good fit for us. Like that's cold war for he's sorry.
right.
He's sorry. Like that's because you don't throw away good corners unless they're sorry or a major problem for your organization. And then it just continued to spiral out of control. And it went from hiring a bad coach, acquiring bad depth. And then the ultimate nail in the coffin was when you took one of the only 4 in this league right now, premier pass rushers on your roster, and you sent him packing because you got emotionally involved in an argument.
Yeah.
And now that's how we got here. We got here this way. Was you picked bad talent, you picked a bad coach, you then shipped off the best talent that you had and said, go play. And those guys who you're looking for to do things aren't good enough to go win matchups, to win downs in and out by themselves. And you banked on hurt players getting back to full strength and being back to the Pro Bowl level. Not off an ankle injury. No. Not off jammed fingers. Not off a little shoulder. No. We're talking about ACL and then microfracture surgery.
Right.
You banked on all of these things. You're hoping and you're wishing was put in the hands of hurt players, players that was thrown away, and a coach that you was cool with. And that's how you are sitting in the position that you are in right now, because none of that stuff worked for you. None of it. The coach didn't work for you. Those players ain't working for you. The guy that you traded away is, oh, by the way, for all of you who were texting and tweeting all that, well, James Houston got 3. Where the text at? Where the tweets at? Where they at? Well, because I don't hear y'all no more. I don't hear y'all no more talking about how, that trade worked out because look what we got here in James Houston. Because the guy that they sent away.
He leads the league in double team percentage. This is Micah Parsons. He leads the league in how often he's double teamed. He still leads the league despite that in pressures and quick pressure. He's up to 6.5 sacks. He's getting about a sack a game.
Yeah.
He could probably help.
Yeah. So to answer your question, we got here because of that.
Yeah. We got here because of Jerry Jones. There's no question about that. And as
Come on, Clarence, get in.
Come on, man.
Come on.
There's no question about that. And while you were thinking about things in the shower, I think I was thinking about things in my sleep.
That's called a dream.
As I didn't get sleep.
But
you know how when you're not good sleep, you just like you keep shaking.
Honestly, I don't have sleep problems.
Well,
I always
Clarence.
sleep well.
I hear you.
You just wake up,
But that's because we both need to get checked. Because I got to go potty.
I never get. Man, I was trying to go to sleep last night, and it felt like I had to pee every 30 minutes.
See?
I got up like 3 times.
I know.
I got to bed at 12.
Yeah.
My alarm was set for 3.
Yep.
I got up like 3-4 times.
Yeah, see, I got to go. I go to the doctor tomorrow. We're going to get recommended up to the urologist.
I know I don't have to pee, but anyway.
That's tough.
But if Micah's not indispensable, what defensive player is indispensable? What position on defense is indispensable? Because Jerry made this statement, well, Dak's indispensable, Micah not. What player on defense is indispensable if Micah's
right
not?
now?
Micah's indispensable.
Period.
Micah's indispensable.
Right. I know,
Absolutely.
but I'm just talking about for a Cowboy. When you're building a defense, to say that, well, how is Micah not indispensable?
Jerry makes up words to justify what he's done. So he got mad at Micah and traded him, so then he had to not be indispensable.
Right.
Like, we can replace that because I traded him.
None of that makes any sense. And I remember our conversations in the spring, because everything is always an extension of other conversations. We don't let nothing go. Boy, we was excited about the moves they made in the offseason. Weren't we a little bit? They were doing something. They actually were doing something.
I think I tore down the Kenneth Murray trade. I tore down the Kyrie
I know,
trade.
but Kenneth Murray, he loved Jack Sanborn.
We like
Sanborn. No.
We like
okay,
Sanborn.
I'm not killing you.
No.
I'm just saying that.
Let's not take a bit and let's not take a bit and make it serious. Let's not take a bit and make it serious. But I'll own Jack.
But my point is, they were, compared to the year before, they were active, okay? And I've said many times, don't confuse activity with get something done. Mm-hmm. And they were very active compared to the year before when they were supposed to be all in. They weren't. They did nothing. At least they did something. Well, they signed the runner, Javonte Williams. They made a lot of signings, a lot of moves in the spring to allegedly make this team better. Clearly, none of those moves were any good. Javonte Williams was the only one. But, then they traded for Pickens, so they did some things.
That was good.
At the end of the day, it's all on Jerry.
Yeah, the front office, what they've done this year, but also the bad drafting is catching up to them as well. And you look at 21 to 24, I found this graphic. Nashawn Wright, Chauncey Golston, Osa, Calvin Joseph, Micah, Sam, DeMarvin, Mozzie, Maris, Marshawn Nealon. You name a couple, obviously, Osa and Micah. But guys,
I need to say Calvin Joseph with hush tones because, something might happen. Don't
the vibes.
Don't say his name out too loud.
The vibes. You know the vibes. Oh, yeah. Here you go.
Go.
He gonna get low key.
As I was saying.
Okay,
as I was saying.
Look at the confidence.
Number 3 always got to jump in,
I'm just saying.
I know it happened.
You wasn't around with Kevin Joseph,
I wasn't around.
It
I was
wasn't
an
him. He
intern.
was just in the car.
I'm just saying.
Clarence, Clarence, I was an intern
That
that
don't
year.
count.
No,
Come on.
that don't count.
You work for the team.
Anyway, the bad drafting is catching up this team. Some of these guys that you name should still be playing on this team in the prime of their careers, contributing, but that's not the case. I know you're looking like I'm crazy. I'm saying, though, that you made these picks.
No, you're right.
These are guys that should be playing
100%.
good football right
Should be
now,
the
but they're not.
foundation.
Yes.
No, you're absolutely right.
And that's been the issue. You're not drafting well. For a team that prior to those years was considered drafting well, but in the last 4 years, you've had some really bad picks on you.
And part of it is, it sounds offensive to say cheap, so I try to think of another way to say it. The Cowboys are one of the teams that tries to be really, really, we'll call it like responsible with the salary cap. Like I remember last year, Jerry Jones was talking about dead money they had. Like, I'm still paying money to player X, player Y, player Z. And then you go look it up, and they're like 28th in the league at dead money. Like, that's just part of doing business in the NFL. They had barely any. But Jerry thinks about those pennies. He's like, man, he still counts against the cap. And you go look at all the teams in the playoffs, and the Chiefs have $70 million in dead money. And the Eagles have $90. He's like, that's the cost of doing business. If you want good players, you have to pay a signing bonus up front. You push some money back because I'm trying to win the Super Bowl. Like, that's just what you do. Cowboys don't like that. They like that. Let's say if you signed a kick butt linebacker, let's make him a Pro Bowler, and he makes $16 million a year. Well, in the NFL, the way that would work is in year one, he'd count like $3 million. And in year two, probably 7 or 8. And then that number goes up, and eventually you probably got to eat something when he's not here. That's just what you do because you're trying to win the Super Bowl, and that's how you make the most competitive roster. They would rather fill $7 million and give up a pick for Kenneth Murray because I don't have to pay a signing bonus. I don't have to risk dead money later. That's how they like to fill up their roster, is by just filling the dollar amount up without having to pay out of pocket more than it says on paper. They love doing that. The Bengals love doing that. The family-run teams love to do that. And if you don't want to call it cheap, that's fine. Say they just love being cap responsible while other teams are more aggressive with how they manipulate it. And you combine that with like the names that you said, Ali, because it's not one thing. Their drafts after the Micah Parsons year, every defensive player they've drafted in 4 years of drafts, that includes 17 defensive players. How many quality NFL starters in the last 4 drafts out of the 17 defensive players that the Cowboys have picked?
That's still on the team.
Yeah. How many?
Because you can't count Micah.
No, at the year, I'm starting after Micah.
Okay,
I'm starting in
right.
2022.
Okay, 22 and
Okay,
on.
right.
So the 2022, 2023, 2024, I put 2025, but that's a little unfair. They're
Right.
rookies.
Deron Bland.
Yeah, I was about to say Bland.
Deron Bland.
Yeah. Ready? Keep
5th
going.
round picks.
Yeah.
He's a 5th round pick.
Uh-huh. Great pick.
That's it. That's
The
list.
end.
That's it.
That is really it. Yeah.
That's it.
The
That's the list.
end. 4 years of drafts. 1 quality defensive player. How are you going to be good? And how in the world are you going to be good if you're the team that doesn't like signing big-time free agents, doesn't like being super active in the trade market? The Cowboys run a really optimistic program. No matter who left, we're fine because we picked a guy. We traded for Kyer Elam. Of course, we're going to be fine. They go on optimism, and that is cray-cray. I mean, it's 3 straight years of you've lost to free agency way more than you've brought back in free agency. Just this offseason, Tank, J. Lou. Did I have another? I mean, and obviously the one that you traded away.
Tank, J. Lou, and Micah.
Tank,
but
J. Lou, Eric Kendricks, who
Eric
he's not
Kendricks
even in the league, but he was a better linebacker than anybody
Than
that
what
you
you
have.
have now,
He hasn't been adequately replaced. You
Dorrance
traded
Armstrong,
Michael Dorrance Armstrong a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Like, you had a lot of real NFL players leave that you never replaced. And then on top of that, let's go one more thing.
Oh, this team too, like over the years, I know we mentioned the bad draft picks over the years, but like before that, I think they lived off certain picks that helped their team. Now it's catching up to you. You were never active in free agency for the longest time. Go into this past free agency, you're finally active, and you come up with a bunch of 1-year signings, guys that aren't working out for you, try and cover up those bad draft picks. So it's like you're not drafting well. Finally, you approach free agency. You're not doing what you need to do in free agency to try and cover up those picks, and now it's coming back to bite you.
I see a hundo.
You still what?
I thought I saw a hundo. Is that a hundo
No,
down
it
there?
would be a different color.
Different color.
That's a different.
He from Bangkok.
Yeah.
my bad. I know
That's
it's
why I
okay.
came in that color.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
all
will
right, my
knock,
bad.
we'll knock out the super chats. We do have also they're trading. They're
saw
trading
that.
also. Trey Lance for a 4th round pick, Jonathan Mingo for a 4th round pick. Those were both lit on fire. Kyer Elam, Kenneth Murray, and then the trade that they made where they sent a player away was Micah Parsons. The way things look right now, and this may be on
They got Kenny
Eberflus,
Clark.
Kenny Clark might get cut this offseason.
21.5
$21
million.
million.
21.5 million. Yes.
And he was going to fix the whole defense. And Kenny, when I tell you, I am not talking about you because there's nothing around you. And maybe the D coordinator is bad, but it just all piles up to like when you look at the way he plays. You want that on the books for 21 like next year? When Jerry talks about pie? And even if he didn't play well, I bet you he would stay because Jerry would keep justifying that he traded
He
for
made
him.
the move, the right
Oh,
move.
no.
Jerry Jones is obviously the problem, and I only got through about a third of the things why Jerry's the problem, but that's okay because there's always more days.
Jerry's not ready to admit that mistake because if he cuts Kenny Clark,
You lose the trade.
yeah, you lose the trade.
You already lost.
But
it.
don't worry, I'm going to get 2 late ones. Let's look at their history with late first-round picks because we're going to get Hall of Famers like Tyler Guyton and Mozzie Smith and Taco Charlton and anybody else they drafted in the late 20s. Coming up next on the DLS Cowboys podcast, it's a Magic Marker Monday, and we do have a little bit of drama. Will that man play another snap for the Cowboys? It's next. Sign up for the Supporters Club. We sure would appreciate it. It is for the real ones. You see Nux right there holding his Supporters Club flag, pennant, because he's a fan of the Supporters Club. And what you get when you sign up for the Supporters Club, we recorded a little something yesterday during the game with the Stars crew. A little behind-the-scenes videos, a little extra fun for you with the crew that is only for our Supporters Club members. You get that when you sign up. And on top of that, you get the official Supporters Club badge next to your name in the chat. That helps you stand out. A couple of ways, obviously, to stand out. Chat for a show that is on YouTube, the Super Chats. And then if you have the Supporters Club badge, we are more likely to see and appreciate and acknowledge your interactions with us on the show. We'll get to know you. You become a part of the show, really. I know you guys probably, if you watch a lot of days, are familiar with 5 to 10 names that are kind of part of the brand these days. Part of the Supporters Club. You also get access to exclusive emojis that you don't have if you're not in the Supporters Club, including the pop emoji, bing bong emoji.
Ben's working on
We're working on the ice tank.
the ice tank.
Well, I didn't even put that in the show. Is it time to tank? Should Dak have turf toe? Yeah, you know, does Dak have too much character to be like, Dak, give me something on your body that doesn't feel perfect? What do you think about missing the next one and the next one? It might be a little too early. It's hard to. You can't talk players into it. It's a front office move, and that's going to be hard with Dak and CD and Pickens. But we could try our best. Also, I want you to sign up to the newsletter. You can go to alldls.com/newsletter. And Ali writes that bad boy for us, and it'll make sure that you're up to date with everything that's happening with your DFW sports teams. If you love them all, you need to be getting that newsletter because then every morning in your email, right there in your inbox, you'll know. You'll be up to date on everything going on. You'll be prepared for the water cooler. You'll be prepared for the coffee machine.
Yeah.
Be prepared for walking to the fridge for a cherry Coke and you run into the vending machine. You'll be ready. You'll know everything that's going on. Just head on over to alldlls.com/newsletter. It is the DLLS Cowboys podcast. We do appreciate you guys being with us. We know that it's not an ideal time in Cowboys football land, but by God, you still want to hear about your team, and we're still here to talk about them. Let me knock out the super chats before we do this other thing, because I know there's a backlog of them, and I apologize for not getting to them. I'm trying to get to my whiteboard, too. CC Black is in the super chat. He said, we have to watch them give up 40 points weekly. I say this, when the offense plays well, at least it's fun. Like 40-40 is fun football. You want to win. But yeah, when it's 44 to, I don't remember how many we scored.
27?
24.
44-24, not as much fun. If they beat us 44-35, be kind of fun. So at least you get fun football when you give up a bunch of points. You just need to score a bunch of points. James in the super chat, what about bringing Al Harris back as DC? Let a lot of good people go out the door.
And I love Al Harris. He's never been DC. He's not DC in Chicago right now. Even if Chicago's playing great defense.
He can come on. He can come on back. Look, coordinator, I'm going to treat like all the different positions on the field. I try whoever.
I try to upgrade at this point.
Ali, you want to do it? I can do it. I'd be like, here's the thing, guys. I'm totally unqualified, and I do not know all the specifics of this. I just try my best. But we have 2 plays we're going to run. Drop everybody, and send everybody. Okay.
See the guy with the ball, go get him.
Now, we are in man, so it's not going to be engage 8. If the back comes out, he is yours. You got to stay with him. But everybody who's not in man coverage with an eligible receiver, go. And on the next play, we'll go send 4 and everybody drop. Okay? And we'll just figure it out from there. Williams in the super chat. The reason for all this is the fact that the Cowboys have the worst GM in football. He made this team worse through trading the best player. Yes, sir. Roman Wolf Gaming's in the super chat. Trade CD for firsts. Trade down for more players plus free agency.
And Jerry addressed that yesterday. He's not about selling.
Okay, and
he's not going to sell.
I want to tell everybody something. There is a salary cap, and that cap has a floor. You have to spend a certain amount of money. When it turns out that you hit on a player and he's going to the Hall of Fame and he's an All-Pro, that ain't the dude to trade.
They did that.
They already did that, yeah.
The answer to we are bad because we traded away, partially, our best player is not to trade your best player. Congrats. You're going to end up with a lot of picks, and maybe 4 years from now, we'll enjoy watching football. Keep the best ones and figure it out from there. I don't like, unless you have one good player on your whole roster, then you have my blessing. But when you have Dak, CD, Pickens, Micah, like those are your untouchables and you build around them. But their untouchables are the mid-level guys who will accept a mid-level contract. Our untouchable is Osa, Ferg, Bland, Diggs when he signed his, Steele when he signed his. Those are dudes Jerry loves to sign because they want to sign. Because they're like, you're going to pay me pretty well? Hell yeah. That sounds great. Keep the best players. Night 405 is in the super chat. Oh, wait. CC Black's up there. I don't trust them drafting defensive players. Yeah, we did. We went through that bad boy, and it's pretty bleak the last 4 years.
Not Memphis.
What's that? Night 405 is in super chat. Free safety is thin and DC proof.
Defense coordinator proof, I'm sure. That's what you're saying. The free safety.
Mistizo is in the super chat. Hello from Bangkok. Originally from Merkel, Texas, near Abilene. If going to trade picks for player, rather do it near the draft. Teams value picks more. That is a fair point.
Watch out for them lady boys out there.
Unless that's your cup of tea. Dro Knows is in the super chat. This whole entire defense needs to be overhauled. We need talented depth and game changers, but this front office needs to evaluate defensive talent better and be more aggressive in the draft. Trade up. I'm capping trade down, so I had to fight you on that one. C to the Ortez. Can't say I trust saving our picks and hitting on every defensive draft pick needed while not neglecting the offense. Problem is banking on hitting draft picks when you look at their recent history. Guys, we're going to be so much better because we're going to draft all the great players. I'm like, based on what?
Yeah, but you want to trade down and collect more picks?
Yeah, I like more chances at it. Yeah, I like more chances.
Makes your draft stuff more fun.
Get more second-round picks for what? Williams?
Don't get too cocky about your evaluation ability. Believe in yourself, but more darts is good. Cool G's in the chat. Dak is not a big game quarterback. I love the show, and we are going to reach that point now. The defense is so bad that the quarterback is now going, I must do everything, and you will end up with some poor decisions in that scenario, and then the quarterback's going to suck to some people. Some people. It's a Magic Marker Monday.
Magic Marker Monday.
My question for the panel, will Trayvon Diggs play another snap for the Dallas Cowboys? And you'll have to elaborate a little bit, otherwise the segment won't last long enough. Will Trayvon Diggs, who is placed on IR, and I don't think he has an injury that's going to take a month to recover, but they put him on there anyway. So he missed this week and has to miss at least 3 more. Will Trayvon Diggs ever play another snap for the Dallas football Cowboys? Clarence? Ooh, that's no with a lot of decoration. That's a big no.
I mean, we talked about this last year. I mean, actually, when he got hurt last year, we talked about that. We got a text from somebody that trashed his work ethic and how he rehabbed. The guy has not been hurt, not been healthy since he signed his deal, not played a full season since he signed his deal. He's been on injury reserve every year since he signed his deal, okay? We know they're going to move away from him in the offseason just from a salary cap perspective. Just numbers. You have to move. They can gain $54 million in salary cap space for the next 3 years if they make him a June 1st cut. So we know that's happening. You got Revel. You just signed Bland. You're most likely going to draft another corner. You can draft a corner every year. you're moving away from him in the offseason. The question is, will he play again this season? He's on injury reserve, quote unquote, for a concussion, which Jerry said the concussion is the least of the issues. They're upset with him not working out with the team last year in the offseason. And he trashed the front office, sided with Michael Parsons. There's a lot of stuff between him and the front office. Now Jerry says he's out of shape, needs to get in shape, he needs to work his butt to get back, just to get back on the field this year.
Did they use a different word than tough?
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, it's how do you get him back on the field? He's injury reserve. Then you got a 21-day window. If the Cowboys not competitive, most of y'all think the season's gonna be over. Why bring him back? You're gonna have Revel. Let's see what the young guys got. You know you're getting rid of him at the end of the season. Even if he finds a way to be healthy on the Cowboys standards, get in shape under Jerry's standards, why play him if the season's over?
Jesse Holley?
Yes. I do think you will see Trayvon Diggs in a Cowboys uniform again. Now, my reasoning with that is when you tell me that it's a conditioning thing, that the least of the worries is a concussion, that tells me that maybe the knees aren't quite where they're at, which also means teams will be unwilling to trade for. If it was just a concussion, I think more teams would be in contention to possibly trade for him while he was on IR. If it's the knees, that takes a little bit more knowing and understanding of what the whole thing is, getting doctors involved and MRIs and x-rays and so on and so forth. But also, I think there's a level of petty in this. I do. I believe that it's I get the last laugh. You want to go somewhere else. You're unhappy with this scheme. You don't like the way things going on. You trashed us. You talked about us. I get the last laugh. And as this ship is sinking, you're going to have to go down with it. And I'm going to put you on the field, and you're going to have to go out there. And if you're not fully healthy, you're either going to have to deny yourself playing and or put bad tape out there. So when we do let you go in the offseason, you have a harder time finding a job. So I think that there will be another sighting of Trayvon Diggs in a Cowboy uniform before this year.
Ali.
I'm on the same page with Clarence. I'm going to go no. I think he has played his last snaps as a Cowboy. You mentioned the reinforcements. I mean, Trayvon Revel coming up. I mean, maybe if Jerry sees that as a guy that, we got a fill-in placement for him, his contract, they can save $15.5 million if they cut him in the offseason. But I also think it's just all the issues have gone on with the offseason program that was fine for that, for the workouts and all that. And then the knees aren't great. And then the mysterious concussion, where does it come from? I think it's just a series of problems that have gotten to a point where Jerry and Steven, I think, are fed up and have said, we're going to put you on IR, and that was kind of the last straw, and that they want no part to do with this anymore. So that's why I think Trayvon Diggs has played his last snaps with the Cowboys.
Yeah, you don't want that attitude in the locker room.
No, not at all.
We're talking about vibes and culture and ping pong.
If you're on IR, what do you do? Like, is he in the locker room?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still there.
Okay,
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
is in the locker room.
Yeah, but you're kind of away. You're in a training room. You're not around the team all the time.
Well, he doesn't actually go to the training room, I don't think.
And then he leaves.
And then he leaves.
Then he
You're not
leaves.
there. But it's also a message to the rest of the guys. You act like this is what happened.
Yeah.
Son of non grata.
We call that.
I am going with C or yes, that Trayvon Diggs will play another snap for the Dallas Cowboys. So I just saw Clarence had a bunch of stuff on his, and so I had time, so I started doing some stuff. I put a couple exclamation points, a couple question marks. That's one football guy trying to jump up and bat the ball down versus another football guy.
Okay.
But turns out he's real small, so it's like Honey Badger or J. Lou or something, and then a star.
If he had J. Lou's heart.
I went with yes, and the only reason I went with yes is I think the Cowboys would love to trade Trayvon Diggs for literally anything. And I know that I may be alone in this. I don't think there's a team in the league that would take on that contract for that player. So I think he has zero trade value. And and I think 4 weeks ends. And if you're still playing the players that you're playing, you'd be crazy not to be like, Trey, want to go out there? And I mean, I guess he could tell you no. And I know that the organization and Trayvon Diggs are not fans of each other. And I know that he won't be here next year. I know that. But when 4 weeks is up, I feel like they're going to be like, all right, Bridges has given up 17,000 yards and 48 touchdowns. You want to go try? Because I just don't know. And I guess Revel's back in theory. So Elam will be getting cooked and Revel will be getting cooked. But like, I just,
seatbelt.
how is he not playing yet?
Have you seen him play?
I mean, look, I know Bridges had a pick in that game. Bo Nix missed a throw by 6 yards. That wide receiver was butt naked. You did not cover him. He was wide open. He can't. They don't have to do it.
Cortland Sutton dropped a touchdown pass that hit him in the chest.
And I would say this, and I don't know if he needs to put up good tape to get a deal next year. I just think he needs to get healthy. Okay, if he needs to get healthy to say, he can say I'm not healthy, I don't feel right. Even when, after the 4 weeks and the 21 days.
So that
he got a home in Washington. So he if he's healthy, he's not gonna get paid.
He probably got a powerful friend in Green Bay
he's
too.
Already been paid. It'd be different if he had never been paid. He's already been paid. He's got his money. Okay, and I think he would have a healthy Diggs. Just make sure I get healthy.
So does this go back to the conversation of Joneses were right? Because now he's went to Miami to get healthy. Still not healthy?
Oh, I think they view it as he's 0 for 2 at doing his own rehab. Like, he'll tell you, I came back early both times, and they'll be like, look at you. Like, you didn't, like, they firmly believe if he was in our building, he would have came back better.
And we firmly believe, because we know microfracture, and we talked about this when it happened.
I don't know what the new one that they do is. I know they're no longer drilling holes in legs.
Okay,
like
but
they
we
did
talked
for
about
me.
this when it happened. When he had Carlin down, we all thought it would be mid-season before he returned. I remember even the Jones family talked about mid-season. And that was them thinking he's going to be working with their guy. So
that's probably another knock on him to them.
Yeah,
what do you mean you're ready? Okay.
Well, they didn't have to pass him on the physical either now.
Well, medically clearing a guy just means that structurally it's fine.
Well, they didn't have to, though.
Yeah.
They could have said you're not ready. Brett worked with him throughout the training camp. They could have said, hey, yeah, it's good on paper, good on the film, but we watching you work out. It's not there. But again, we all knew he wasn't going to be ready.
Coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast, we got one more segment for you, including we probably need to do some nuggets about the offense that we saw against the Denver Broncos next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast. I want to encourage you to sign up to be a diehard as well. There will be a QR code on your screen if you're watching on YouTube. You just go beep and you hit that bad boy, and that'll help you get to signing up to become a diehard. And there's a bunch of benefits to being a diehard with us at DLLS. You get to be like Clarence is usually in the Discord. That's what he's doing right now. He pops open the Discord so that he can chat with our fan base and our friends. And you get into that when you sign up to be a diehard. It's a Discord that has a bunch of different channels in there. So if you're a college football fan, every Saturday it's going nuts in there. People crash, people having a good time. Whichever one you want to do is fine. We got a different channel for like TV and movies. We got a channel for food.
So someone send me I want lasagna. Send me your best lasagna recipe.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
One of our diehards will put it in there.
Send me your best
food.
lasagna recipe.
Think
about making lasagna this week.
You also, when you sign up, you get to pick a t-shirt from the merch store that'll be sent to you for free when you sign up to be a diehard. I have that 88 Club t-shirt. Jesse's got the Dim Boys. I believe Ali technically has the one with the horse on.
I do.
Yeah,
I believe he technically does. You can get one of those, or you can get, that's not your only 3 options. And that's not your only 9 options now that you've seen 6 more. There's a whole bunch of stuff in the merch store. And you choose one for free when you sign up to be a diehard. You get an ad-free experience on the website. You get access to everything that's written on the website. Some of it is diehard level only, and you'll get access to all of that when you sign up to be a diehard. Also want to encourage people to sign up for the newsletter, of course, at alldlls.com/newsletter. Because I don't need you running up on the Keurig at work.
The Keurig.
Not being in the loop on what happened with the Stars last night, you know? They played, yeah, I'm sure they did. Yeah, they sure did, because the Stars guys were here yesterday. I don't want you to be out of the loop. Did the Mavs win a game?
They did.
I need to check my newsletter. I would know
No
that.
turnovers by
Cooper Flag, 22 points.
Nice. How about that? That's nice. Time to
one
be a diehard.
God. One God.
It's the DLLS Cowboys podcast. Aaron is in the chat. Ron is in the super chat. He said, Chill, can you hammer Shotty on why you won't go for it on short fourth downs when the defense is struggling?
You know, and we did that. We did that just last night. Third quarter, 4th and 5, 4th and 3, whatever else, and he punted. And this is my frustration with Coach because he's honest about everything. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I tell the team he says we have good players on defense. We have talent on defense.
Well,
we don't need to make a trade.
But and Osa maybe.
But in that instance, when you know good and damn well, that you have to score to keep up, you know good and damn well you're not stopping nobody. To sit up and say, I trusted our defense to get a stop and get us a short field. Why?
Yeah, based on what?
Why? So it went from 30-17 to 37-17, game over.
Yeah.
Instead of you going for it on 4th down when Pickens got barbecue chicken covering him.
Yeah.
Surtain is out.
Green bean casserole.
I like green beans.
But we did ask him that. I wrote about it in my story. Why are you doing this? The way you're playing on defense, your so-called trust in your players, is hurting your coaching.
Yeah. I also think on offense yesterday was the first time, and I was wondering when this was going to happen because it's going to happen eventually. Really good quarterbacks are really good quarterbacks. No one's perfect and no one's immortal.
No.
Eventually, when you don't pass protect real well, and then Denver has a good defense, you couldn't run it on them real well. Javonte just over 3 yards a carry. And your defense is atrocious. Eventually, your quarterback is going to press.
Right.
And even if it's not pressing and it's just the fact that I can't beat pressure and make perfect decisions and throws forever because it's not possible, eventually things will catch up to you. And it was always going to be hard to score 40 a week. And if you want to kill Dak for it, you can. I think if he could, you can tell me if he mentioned this after the game. I would think if he could do it over again when Tyler Guyton backed him up from the 1, so they had to call a pass play instead of just running in for a touchdown. I would think he would look at that field and go, oh, the backup is over here on Pickens. There's no one else on that half of the field. CeeDee's over here in a group of guys, and they have a group of defenders. Maybe I should go over there. The deep ball that was a pick was just a bad read, bad throw by a guy who the early stuff wasn't open and knows I have to win the game.
Right.
So he made a bad throw and a bad decision because
you don't throw on Jahdae Barron. Told y'all draft Texas quarterback.
Okay.
That dude makes plays.
Okay.
And he thought he could whistle that ball over Jahdae Barron's ear right into that seam ball. That dude makes plays, man.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that was Barron.
That was Barron.
He is a baller. That dude's a baller. And then there's another thing on offense that I tried and I wanted to, but we're creeping up on a year and a half now. Penalties and pressures and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We're a year and a half now. You don't want to have to use another high pick on a left tackle. But the optimism's hard to keep. Like early in this year, I thought he had taken steps from the guy who was out there a year ago who looked like he didn't believe he should be out there to somebody who had some confidence and had some better tools and was in better control. But, boy, we're back to multiple penalties every week and a lot of pressure allowed. I think you still don't have your left tackle.
And the saving grace for him right now is that the defense is god-awful.
Yeah.
And so our focus is on fire Matt Eberflus. This defense is god-awful. You can't stop a nosebleed. Pick your quote or phrase that you want to use for the defense. So there's not enough football hatred left
to get around to
him.
Yeah.
Because you're like, defense, you go all over the board with the defense, secondary, cornerbacks, linebackers. So by the time you actually get back to it, and we try to inform folks on our show that everyone tried to tell us, the O-line has been playing great. And I broke it down for you. We did a KBBU segment, and I go, it's not the offensive line. It's the quarterback.
Yeah.
He is doing he has become David Blaine.
And he ran a lot yesterday to get out of stuff. I mean,
yeah.
He had 6 rushes yesterday to get out Get out of
31
trouble.
yards,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
He has been just absolutely phenomenal in the pocket, fading and shifting and moving and all this. Balls coming out quicker than it's ever come out in an offense ran by Dak Prescott. It wasn't the offensive line. It was the calls. It was the quarterback. He saved you a lot. Even yesterday, he had one where he looked down the gun barrel and got blasted. Delivered the ball. But it was two defenders right up under the chin. And that's what it's been all year long. He's just been able to get the ball off in a timely fashion that it hasn't been that great because they didn't go up against a great corner or a great defense. You ran into that yesterday, and you're going to run into that a lot of times when you have to play really good defenses. The good teams have them. The good teams have a corner. They have a rush. They have a. So yeah, it was bound to happen. But I know that Jeff believed in the offseason changes, and I'm thankful that he decided to make some changes because at least you showed effort to try to do it. But you are what you are.
You may not be good enough.
You're just not a good football player.
And getting back to Jeff's initial question about not throwing the picking, throwing the CD. He said, we wanted to pick on Riley Moss too. I know you had barbecue chicken over there, but Riley Moss barbecue chicken with a CD. And but Riley Moss had pretty good coverage, even though he got flagged.
And he had help. Like, that's an area that's congested.
He got flagged 2 or 3 times. Like, dude, could we ask him, like, dude, Pickens open.
Yeah.
Even on the throw to Turpin, and it was a bad pass, but Turpin should have caught it.
Right.
Pickens, I'm sorry. I'm going to be like Joe Flacco throwing to Chase, who had 19 targets to Chase. I'm going to throw to my guys.
Well, and he'll tell you, I threw to my guy on the CD one. but
he did.
But I think at that point, you have to realize I got 2 guys.
You got 2 guys.
And the math is telling me to go to one of them.
No, you got
or
2.
The
and they
geometry.
Took, and we got to give Broncos defense credit because they took Ferg away. Ferg's your other guy. And they took him away totally. Where the defensive ends, the boots, all that stuff they usually get to Ferguson. You remember every time he booted, he had to run because the tight end was covered.
Yeah.
And so they didn't have that, Linus's blanket, that little 3-5 yard gain you get. So it's all of that.
Super chat. Let me hit that one. John Adam is in the super chat. He said, trade our 2nd round pick for a starting defensive player because we can't hit a 2nd round pick anyway. Franchise Pickens and use the rest of the draft picks and free agency on defense and try for 2026. Problem is if you wanted to view it through the lens of where you're struggling drafting over the last few years, you would say, all right, trade the late 1s, trade the 2s, trade the 3s. Like they're on a really bad run of drafting. The way that they choose to handle free agency, the way that they choose to trade. I like the Pickens one. It was good. But they're just if you are on a 3 years run of not drafting well while letting more talent walk than you re-sign in free agency, what do you expect the result is going to be?
Jess with the messy Jess. You know what I want now? I just thought about it. It just hit me.
Joe Milton.
Nope.
I thought you wanted to be messy.
Nope. Franchise pick. I want to see the meltdown. Franchise them. I want to see the
fake hamstring injury.
I want mess. Wait, just franchise it. If you're not going to sign them, franchise them, and I can't wait to see the absolute mess.
Boy, Clarence is going to be on that phone wearing himself out.
Dave,
is his back really tight? Is he?
Are y'all flying to the same doctor that you flew to with Micah?
Clarence, we appreciate you toughing it out today. You got his Shady Rays back on. Our man slept for about 15 minutes.
We always tell Clarence, have to. You don't have to.
My job.
You did your job.
This is all my job.
Jesse don't want you here is what he's saying.
No.
Jesse likes to have a little more elbow room, spread out a little bit, spread his wings.
No, we love Clarence here.
Yeah, so Cowboys got their butts kicked, and right now it looks bad. So what we need is the Cowboys to do some Cowboy stuff, beat the Arizona Cardinals about 36-27, and we'll be like, hey, what if? And the Raiders are coming to town. We need
Tyler's
to get
what, 9-0?
Going to the Raiders.
Tyler's 9-0 at AT&T.
9-0?
Yeah, no, that's okay. We can figure this one out. Kyler Murray's only the second best thing to come out of Allen High School. Right behind me. Appreciate you guys stopping by. We will see you again tomorrow. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through. Be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.
We all silly like the mayor.